everybody, my name is Rydo, and today we will be starting a new series on the game The Wolf Among Us. Yes, The Wolf Among Us with a THE. It is another Telltale game. I have covered quite a few by this point, and they are mostly story, mostly cutscenes with a few quick time events, but you get to interact with the dialogue, and sometimes your choices in the dialogue affects the outcome depending on how new the game is and what they decide to do as their trick for that series. For this series, in fact, they have a extras thing called the Book of Fables, which in doing some research, means you get basically a character entry for every character that you talk to, but there are a few points where you have to make the right dialogue choices or you're going to miss like one each chapter. And if you manage not to miss one each chapter, then you will get an achievement for getting all of them. You will also get separate achievements for getting all of them in each chapter. Your player choices will be shown, as always in Telltale games, after the fact of the 5 episodes. This is an episodic game, but we don't have to worry about that. I'm going to play it all the way through, so unlike some of the newer games that I'm playing as they are coming out, I will not have to take a break and forget what's going on. One thing that still has to be said is this still did not detect my video settings correctly. Graphics when it were here were not set to the right resolution, and that's really all that's an option here. It's full screen, high or low quality for graphics quality and texture quality. Anti-aliasing was on by default. I guess I'll stick with that. Why not? Not like I really know. Here's a confusing screen. You have changed the settings. Save these changes? Well, do I want to restore or apply? The answer should be yes or no. Do you want to save them? Or save, don't save. Don't throw in a third word that could be ambiguous when audio and video is a little strange. They have an audio, video, and graphics. Subtitles are hidden under the audio, and that's why it's called audio/video. It doesn't really make any sense. Why not just call this one here video and put the subtitles there? Or put the subtitles with the audio and say audio and subtitles. Yeah, that doesn't really make any sense. It's all this legacy stuff of just these games are made very similar by Telltale. Gameplay has no real options. Selectables is a new way to phrase it. Basically, I think that means it's going to highlight things you can click on, and it's on by default. So that's really all we need to do before we start. So let's hop into the game that's taken way too long. They are episodes. Now, as for 5 episodes, we've got them all. As for the story, I don't know anything about the Fables comic book series, other than the fact that it is supposed to be, I think, like the Fables like the Big Bad Wolf and Snow White and all of that. And Wolf Among Us indicates that we'll be playing as the main character, who is the Big Bad Wolf. Assumedly, the guy with the axe there is the axeman of that story, of the Little Red Riding Hood story. And somehow they got to New York, and they have to use like magic to hide their true appearance and make a living there because they are, for one reason or another, banished from their fairy tale land. That's all I know about Fables, and so this will be an interesting story for me to go through, unlike, say, Game of Thrones, another series I've done, or The Walking Dead, which, although that was a unique story, you kind of knew it was going to be about zombies, and you kind of knew what was going to happen. Yeah, so let's start. The game series adapts to the choices you make. The story is tailored to how you play. I think that's accurate. They have phrased that differently. Once upon a time in New York City, there was a community of fairy tale creatures known as Fabletown. The Fables who lived there arrived hundreds of years ago after they were exiled from their homelands. Through the use of magic spells called the Glamour, they have protected their secret community from the mundane world. Sheriff Bigby Wolf protects them from each other. So you're the sheriff.
105 today again if you missed it. Record for the date. Hottest ever in June. 103 now. That humidity looks low, but remember, the hotter the air is, the more moisture it can hold. So 103 with 31% humidity is a lot more humid than, say, 73 with 31% humidity. And it is muggy out there.
This is probably going to be a mature story too, so if you're really young and you're going to get in trouble, you might want to leave immediately. I think this is going to lean probably to the TV 14, if not TV 18 type story. I don't know for sure, but I would guess. I doubt we'll see any nudity or anything, but there might be cussing and violence. Again, a guess. Tenement building, South Bronx, sometime after midnight. Toads.
Mr. Toad? Oh, shit. Bigby! Listen,
Cussing,
mate,
like
I know I don't look human. It's a problem, I get it. I just stepped out the apartment for just a second to see what kind of damage this drunk shit is doing. Just cut me a break, yeah? I'll get me glamour first thing in the morning. Cross my heart. No need to kick up a fuss.
Do we want to be a nice guy? Let's be a nice guy.
No harm done. I'll give you a pass, but listen. If you can't afford to look human, you're going to the farm. It's as simple as that. You can't send me up to live with those animals. You know what I mean. Go see a witch. Get a glamour. Bigby, they're bleeding me dry, mate. The quality of the spell goes down, but the rates keep climbing up. Do you have any idea how much it costs to have an entire family in glamour?
I guess I don't make the rules.
I don't make the rules. Sorry. I can't give you a free pass on this, Toad. My hands are tied. Right. There's too much at stake. Whatever it costs, it's worth it. You don't want me catching you out of glamour again. Fucking hell! See? This is what I told you about, Sheriff. You're just gonna stand there? Do something, Bigby, before he completely tears up the place! So, what am I walking into exactly? Woodsman's on another bender. He's been going on like that for hours. Turn this place to dust if you let him. He's in a fucking rage. This is the last straw, Bigby. He has to go. So what set him off? Who knows what it was this time. Man's got a hair trigger. I avoid him as much as possible.
I'm
When did he
choosing
start drinking?
dialogue choices
Sure he ever stopped.
to encourage
I didn't
as
know
much
anyone else was up there.
conversation as possible. But there's a timer on it too. There's Book of Fables entry unlocked.
Very prick goes shite. Tell me how to spend my money.
Dad, the lights are shaking again.
What did I say? You want a big bad wolf to take you away?
No.
Then get the fuck back inside!
Boy, he doesn't sound nice. But I guess I'm gonna be the sheriff. You're gonna deal with a lot of people that aren't nice.
You're gonna know who I fucking am, you hear me?
So
Hey,
here's your selectables
look at me.
here.
Stop, okay? Let's go.
This is a little strange using both controls. Let's see. Pick up the matchbook. Why not? Because this is a somewhat point and click adventure game.
Know who I am now? Hey, look at me!
Get off of me.
Ah!
Hang up the phone. Let's be a nice guy. Typically in games like this, you can wander around and you don't have to risk doing anything. We can look at our inventory and cycle through it, but if it's like any other Telltale game, you can't really actually use that in any sense. When you run into an item you can use a match on, for example, it will have a symbol to match them. And then here it's just telling you the A button on my controller will try to knock the B button that's red will kick down the door.
God damn you! Know who I am
Whoa,
now,
whoa, hey,
don't
hey!
You've got something on your face.
Fuck are you talking about, you stupid I'll fucking kill you! You fucker!
All right, what's going on?
Well, I guess I can't
What are you gonna fucking do, huh?
mess with this
Get
system.
the fuck out of the way before you get the axe again.
Woody, this is your last warning. If you keep on like this, I won't have any choice but to put you down.
Put me down? You got a shit fucking memory, Wolf. That's not how it went last time.
This isn't last time.
Quick time event. Alright, trigger. Oh, nope, wasn't fast enough. Doesn't matter. Well, it might matter. It very well might game over me if I'm not careful.
You're a fucking glutton for punishment.
Fuck you.
Let's see. We gonna punch him? Do we need to punch him? I guess we need to punch him. It's a little bad to punch man while he's down. Trying to be a good cop here. Not making it easy.
Back off, asshole.
Uh-oh. A potentially magical axe. Is this a justifiable use of force? Well, it's hard to be a cop. Wow. And just like that, game over. So, it seems like in this fight, I'm gonna have no choice but to kill him. And so we're gonna have to replay, and obviously, in most Telltale games, there are specific points where you can game over. I don't really know if it's ever been a good idea that that be a part of it, because I think the story should just continue. This Telltale games in general are so story-based, they should be playable by even somebody who can't barely press buttons. There should even be an option to turn off like the timer. I'd like to see somebody who was like paraplegic be able to play this game to that level. Just at anyways, well, let's replay from the checkpoint, see how far that puts us. It's surprising he doesn't have a gun or a taser or something that he's pulled out. that knocked him out. Good. I was afraid I was just gonna chop his head off.
You should probably get out of here.
Look, I'm not leaving until I get what's mine.
You're not getting shit, bitch. I'll fucking put you on the ground. You hear me?
Hey, if you can't be nice, I'm gonna make you wait outside.
Oh, fucking shit. You bugged my jaw, you bastard.
And still you talk.
Fuck you.
Shit.
What are you doing here?
These lips are sealed. Look, this is just the start of a shitty night for me. I just need the money he owes me, then I can go.
What the hell is going on? What happened?
A little misunderstanding that turned into a real shit show. Don't worry, you saw the best bits.
There's more where that came from, girly.
Knock it off! What's your name?
Whatever you'd like it to be, handsome.
Don't make this more difficult than it has to be.
Sorry, Sheriff. Wouldn't want to add any difficulty to your night.
Why was he hitting you?
He asked me if I recognized him, knew who he was. I said I didn't. He started beating on me. Then you showed up, started beating on him. That about cover it, hun?
I'm the woodsman, you whore. I saved Little Red Riding Hood from this monster. I cut this fucker open and filled his belly full of stones and threw him in the fucking river. That's who the fuck I am, you stupid bitch!
Hey, what did I say about that word?
Come on!
Really? Really? And this is how you keep things quiet, Sheriff? Getting thrown out the window?
Shit. Hey, Toad.
My car?
Yeah. Give me a second.
Oh no, by all means. Take your time. Make yourself comfortable. Can I get you anything? Pillow, perhaps?
So, how good is your insurance?
I can't be mad at you. I called you, and you come to help. I can't be mad. But even when you help, things end up more fucked than they started. Well, at least you're not fucking dead.
See, I don't know how much damage these guys can take. I may be doing what is a human level of damage to them, and that may be nothing to them.
I know you're fucking in there. Come on out, you fucking dog. I'll put you out of your
I'm trying to tap A.
You
This is
fucking
often the problem.
mongrel. You ignorant
Half the
fuck.
time they don't even mean for you to succeed. And it seems silly. They might as well have made that a cutscene. Obviously I wasn't supposed to succeed.
What are you doing?
I'm just getting what he owes me. You alright back there? I mean, your eyes and the teeth? You're not really supposed to do that, are you?
Not if I can avoid it.
Great.
The guy's got an axe in his brain. He's not feeling that.
It's more from me. He'll be fine.
I'll kill you, you fucking bitch.
Wow, see?
Let me help you.
He's had enough.
He's a Fable. Son of a bitch can take plenty.
let's give it a matchbook. We picked up a matchbook.
Here.
Thanks.
Maybe I shouldn't have let her smoke. That's probably a bad thing. It's probably better to not have her smoke.
Who do you work for, really?
These lips are sealed. Sorry.
I wonder if she's under a spell. She can't talk.
Hey, you like my ribbon?
If you don't answer my questions, I can't help you.
I'm answering them the best that I can.
The
I
ribbon.
feel like we've met before.
She's under a
We
spell.
probably have. We all sort of knew each other at one point or another.
I think.
But things change, I guess.
I guess.
Is her ring blinking? It's like going from blue to red.
Shit.
Stop.
The
We don't
license
have to
plate
make
says
any more of a
totally.
thing out of it than it already is.
Are you sure?
He's had enough. For tonight, at least. Wouldn't be surprised if he has an axe to grind, though. That wasn't intentional. Sorry.
Pixel is missing. I'm reading all the things.
How
That'd
much
be
was
funny
the
if,
Oja?
like, Pixel came
100.
back.
I'm guessing it'd be bad for you to show up empty-handed.
I'll be fine.
Let's see, I've got,
Dragon Wing.
it's 20, 40, 7, 8, 58. It's all I got. It'll help, right? Take it.
It's okay. I'll be fine. You've done enough, really.
Just take the money.
See, this is how cops get accused of hiring a
You
prostitute.
got me out of a bad situation
Right
back
there.
Thanks.
You try to be a nice guy and
I'm
give her
still gonna
money.
need a statement.
All of a sudden, there's a guy with a
I
cam on
have
the
to
other
go
side.
drop off what I have.
Meet me back at my office then.
It's a little late for an office visit, Sheriff. I'll swing by your apartment.
How do you know where I...
You live in the smallest apartment in the Woodlands. Everyone knows that.
Good to know.
You should get cleaned up. You look like shit. And I don't use that term lightly. Some of these look pretty bad.
I clean up okay.
I'll believe it when I see it. Hey. I need to tell you something.
What is it?
You're not as bad as everyone says you are.
So I like
I'll
this
see you around.
heavy artistic ink style with the black outlines for a comic book game. It makes sense, but I think they could have put a little bit more detail in that, like the hair and things. You could still do this style and just spend twice as much time on it and put some more detail into it. Of course, there are a lot of Telltale games where it doesn't make any sense to a story to have this style of artistry. It really didn't make that much sense for The Walking Dead. And we're into the late open like we usually are in Telltale games. If you think about it, well, The Walking Dead is based on a black and white comic book, so if you were going to go that direction, you might as well go straight black and white. But then they did Game of Thrones, and that really makes no sense. That should be photorealistic, since Game of Thrones is mostly coming from the TV series. And as Telltale does more and more games like this, Episode 1 Faith, we'll see about that. And we're on Bullfinch Street. assuming Telltale does more and more games like this, which I assume they will. It's late according to the clock. Why is it going to tell me the time and then not tell me the time? The glass slipper shoes.
Yeah, I guess Shoes by Cinderella would have been too obvious.
I am the Eggman. Now, in some of the games, you have one control stick controlling both things. In this game, you have two. One controlling this, one controlling that. I don't think it's really necessary. I think there's ways you can get around it. The Woodlands Luxury Apartments.
Luxury apartments? I wish they wouldn't advertise that.
Did I just lock myself into? Yeah. Pretty much as you walk, you get over to this section. Open the gate. Fables, created by Bill Wingingham. I potentially would want to read the Fables series once I know it kind of ends and finishes well. I've been burned on comic books in the past where they reboot, they fail, they get new writers that change everything to the point where it's not a venture I am even willing to start until I know it's going to finish well. And I would prefer to do things that are shorter. But maybe I'll get around to it. It's hard when you're a YouTuber to have free time to do those things though, because you spend all your time playing video games as a video game critic.
Sometimes be a disciplinarian.
Snow can sometimes be a disciplinarian. So Snow White is apparently running the Woodlands, and then that means the lady we saw earlier can't be Snow White. We're gonna try and, I assume, figure it out by just eliminating all the female characters from all Fables I know, which is quite a lot actually. So I don't know how well that's gonna work. And if you click on the door with your cursor, he's just walking automatically, so what's the point of not walking automatically always?
There's no walking on the grass. Snow White's orders. She made a sign and everything.
I'll be sure to send her an apology.
Beauty.
Okay, so that's
Hello, Bigby.
Beauty of Beauty and the Beast.
I wasn't expecting anyone. I know this looks a little odd, but there's an explanation, I swear.
Why'd you hide when I walked up?
Well, I didn't know who it was. You can't be too careful these days.
No, you can't.
Damn it, I'm late.
One of the things that's a problem.
Please, Bigby. Promise me you won't tell Beast you saw me. He worries too much as it is, and it would just make my life a lot easier. Just, please. Promise me?
Silence, why not? You chose not to respond.
I don't have time to go into it right now. I'll explain it all to you later. I will, but I have to go.
Book of
It's
Fables
not what
entry
you
unlocked.
might be thinking.
And I guess we'll go and look at the Book of Fables once we finish an episode of the game, one of the 5 episodes, because that would be about the only time I could feel free to do it. And that is gonna be this episode of this. Oh wait, we can just go look at the Book of Fables, can't we? That makes it nice. So we can select here the big bad wolf. He's known for tormenting pigs, girls, and red hoods, but is trying to put those dark days behind him. Bigby now acts as Fabletown sheriff and remains in his human form mostly. However, due to his rough past, the citizens of Fable are slow to trust him. Bigby is determined. How far does this go? To show that he's truly changed, but some instincts are just too hard to control. Oh man, this is a lot of text. This is a lot of text. Mr. Toad is a slumlord, Fabletown. I think you kind of need all of this just to explain general things. Like, most people don't even know what a glamour is, which are from fairy tales. Quite literally, fairies wear glamours. And it's kind of funny is that we probably won't see any fairies, or maybe just 3 fairies or so for Sleeping Beauty, but Sleeping Beauty, not Beauty and the Beast. 2 beauties in 2 different Fables stories. And we're all going to come across most of these just by playing the game. We can check the achievements. I've already gotten one by Chapter 1, completing Chapter 1, Episode 1. They've broken up episodes into chapters. Honestly, I think it's the wrong terminology. I think they should call each, what they call an episode, the 5 episodes of the game, should be a chapter of the game. But that's because I'm a YouTuber and I need to use the word episode to explain what I'm wrapping up here. So when I say welcome back to another episode and we are starting episode 2 of a game, it makes no sense whatsoever to even the person saying it. Anyways, that is the end of this episode of recording. I end all my episodes the same, all my videos the same. I ask you to like this video. I ask you to share it with your friends. I ask you to subscribe to my channel. I ask you to comment if you want to, and to watch every second of my videos, because all that stuff helps me with YouTube. It gets more people to see my videos as they get more and more suggested when people type in relative search terms. The other thing you can do is click on my name, Rydo. That'll get you to my main YouTube page. There's a playlist tab there. You can click that, see all the other games I have covered or are covering right now. There's a playlist for every game. Go check some of those out. I've put out over 1,000 videos. I'm sure there's something there you can be interested in watching. All of them went to the end if they were story games, or for at least a decent amount of times if they were games that were more roguelikes and you could play multiple times through. If I didn't finish it, it will be in the Spotlights playlist, which is videos I just did a spotlight of, and there was only one video of them, and there's some spotlights worth watching too, so go check those out too. Also on my main YouTube page, before you click the playlist tab, on the right there's a blue button that says support this channel. If you could click that and make a donation, I would greatly appreciate it. This is my only career. I do this as a job, well over 40 hours a week of work. But I do love it, and I would appreciate any support you can get. Even $1 or $2 could be the difference between a game, because I can often get games on sale, and that's how I got this game, actually, is on the Steam summer sale. I've just bought all the collection of Telltale games, and this was one of them, and it probably only went for a few dollars. Also, help me with social media sites. It helps by friending me and following them on them. Down below in the description are a bunch of links to things like Twitter, Facebook. You can friend me on Steam, you can friend me on battle.net, you can follow me on Tumblr or reblog me, Google+, whatever you're on, whatever you might even have an account on. You probably do have a Google+ account with that, whether you know it or not. Follow me on those. That helps you see when new videos come out. New videos will be coming out every Monday through Friday at about the same time for this series. that's when I always release videos, on Monday through Friday. I give you the weekends to catch up because, like I said, I have a lot of old videos that you could go watch. And that is it. So the last thing I always wrap up with is I say thank you for watching. So thank you for watching. Have a good evening.